What is up, third gen owners? One thing we're going to be doing in this video is working on the VATS and security system. It's very common in third gen Camaros for the VATS to get messed up, or the security system, whatever you want to call it. What ends up happening is you drive it, runs good, there's no problem with it, cruises well. It doesn't even give you any symptoms of it fouling or anything like that. But the moment you turn it off, you can't turn it back on sometimes, and it just randomly does it. That's when it's starting to be faulty, when it's starting to fail. But when it's fully done, it just fully just shot, it just won't turn on. I'm going to show you guys what that is and how to fix it properly. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. You could bypass it. You could also repair it. I prefer repairing the things back to the way that it was when we got it, or when it came out the dealer. So that's what we're going to be doing on it once I check it out, and making sure that it's repairable. Other thing I wanted to go over is how do you know when you have this? So you do know when you have this problem when your key has a little black chip on it. So it could be a little black chip with like a silver line on it, and that's when you know that you have the security system. Symptoms that it may give you when it's not turning on is you possibly thinking that your starter's bad, meaning it doesn't crank, it doesn't do anything. Some styles of that system still cranks, but it just won't turn on the ejectors. But in this specific style, it won't crank, it won't do anything. It'll kind of feel as if the Camaro is just not like low charge, no battery, things like that. The lights will turn on. Some of the security system may turn on, but it just won't crank and it won't do anything. So I'll check it out, give you guys some info on how to fix it properly or how to bypass it. But this specific video, I'm going to assess it, go from there, and then we'll be able to let you guys know how to actually fix it. So after looking at this and putting some effort into assessing what's going on, quickly realized that there's no point in repairing this one, at least as of right now. I'm noticing that not only is the tilt messed up, but it's missing parts. Not necessarily the VAT system. The VAT system's still repairable, but the steering column is not. And the last thing I want to do is tell this customer that I am going to repair his VAT system and not repair his steering column. It's missing pieces. There's no point in actually fixing the column. We could put a new column on it, but we still have to use the same VAT system and repair the other one to just make sure he has a new VAT system, since that was the original problem. But this steering column is definitely not repairable. Let me show you guys why. So while I was noticing it was super loose, I found this in the back, which does not belong in the back seats. It belongs inside of here and holds it in place. Which tells me there's a lot more things missing. That's why it's loose. There's also that little clip that goes inside, the little C clip that I don't know where I'm gonna find that if it's missing it. So it is missing a good amount of parts from looking at it. What I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna walk you guys through it, is I'm gonna have to bypass it until this person is able to get a new steering column, or I could order him a new steering column. So I'm gonna bypass it using this chip to be able to drive it in, so he could comfortably drive it without having to worry about being stranded. I'm not going to actually repair the VAT system. I'm just going to bypass it for now. However, typically when somebody goes to go get this fixed, 9 times out of 10 a shop would possibly just bypass it. You won't really be able to tell unless you look at their work if they bypassed it or not. But what we're going to be doing is removing this chip, putting the resistor in the bottom, and we should be good to go. This here is what it will do if your VAT system is messing up. So same thing for the different styles, third gens, the later model dashboards. You should have a light turn on that says security, which would be here. You kind of see it there, security. So that light should turn on and shut back off. It's not doing it now because the VAT system is messing up, and this is what it would actually end up doing. Crank it, nothing is happening. Kind of feels like a dead battery. Also feels like you don't have one, or the starter might be messing up, but nope, it's that VAT system. So imagine cruising, dipping, and then you're with somebody and randomly you're like, oh, let's kick back for 5 minutes, see if it turns on later. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But again, that would be your VAT system. No other problem. What I'm going to be doing is bypassing this, and then we are good to go. First thing to do is remove this bottom frame. Is molding. We're going to be looking for is a white and orange cable that's very thin, and they are going to be together. That's what reads the resistor, and we're going to put this in between it. All right, so pulling this down. After we do that, we need to make sure that we get the right cable. So as you can see here, this is the cable that runs to the ignition that I was talking about. Comes down here. Remember I said it was white and orange? All right, so it's this one. This is what reads the resistors and gets it from the plates up top. What we're going to do is put the resistor here in between these two, and that should bypass it. You should be good to go. You don't have to worry about the plate or the key not working anymore. The resistor is always going to have it, and this person's not going to have this problem again. It is bypassing it, but what I would have preferred to do was repair it. But if we were to repair it, what's going to end up happening with this is it's just going to get pinched again. And this steering column with missing pieces is not going to do well. All right, so now you see there. All right, so now these two wires have been clipped. What we're going to do is put this in between them, and that's going to create that resistance so it could go back to starting. We're going to go ahead and bypass it. So I'm going to hold the device, go ahead and push this out. So whatever you do, try not to mess with the resistor too much. Anytime I get to use my device, I'm going to do it. Don't lose the... If you have a second key, you're good. There it goes. So this is the resistor. Like I said, there's like 15 different styles of these. So if this gets lost and we only have one of them, we're in some deep problems. We got to figure out 1 out of 15. So we have to test out 15 different ones to find out how to actually put it together. So don't lose it. Don't lose your keys. Don't switch the column and throw away the keys, because if you do that, you're going to run into some problems. You're going to have to find that key, or somebody's going to charge you a good amount to find out what key it is. All right, so I got it done. Well, the first part to it. So this is what I ended up doing. I put the resistor inside of these two wires. So what it's going to be doing now is creating that resistance that we need for it to bypass the alarm. We should be good to go. All right, so you be clear on what's happening. Notice here that when I turn the key, the security doesn't turn off. Security would have been this one where it's off, and this is the resistor that I was connecting. This is the little piece that I took off, which was the resistor and the chip on the key. The moment that I connect the resistor, it's a little hard to do with one hand. It's making contact. So now the security light turns on. So now the security light turned on and it turned off, it's good to start and we should be good to go. The security light always has to turn on and shut off, and then that's when you're good to turn on. And that's when you know you bypassed it. So earlier it was off, now it turns on. Check the ohms, it's good to go. Computer's set and you're good to turn it on. Boom, good to go. Now I'm just gonna close it back up, put it so it won't fall off while he's driving or anything like that, and hopefully properly fix it without having to bypass it, because this is definitely not ideal for myself. But it's good to know these tricks, simply because if you get stranded somewhere, or you buy a new car and you want to know if that's actually the problem and not a bigger problem, Those are things that you can do to kind of get by until you fix it the right way. But honestly, out of 10 Camaros that I would say I owned, I'll say about 5 out of 10 of those have always been bypassed. I personally don't like bypassing them. I just like fixing them back to the standard way that it was. This is what it looks like bypassed. So you're good to go. One wire to the other wire to the actual chip key. The resistor is here. You could make your own resistor once you read the actual chip. I'm not going to say this person's chip, but for example, if you have chip 2, your resistance might be 1.2, and then that's the resistance you have to create, and you're just able to do that, and it does the same thing. You don't have to actually take off the resistor off the key, but that's the way I decided to do it. I don't have any here, so there it goes.